Okay, here is the connect. See, we know that we can create a class using Apex. Okay, and in the class we'll have to write all the program. All my variables, all the functions need to be defined inside the class. All right, and so that's from the Apex side. On the Visual Force page, we talked about markups and controllers earlier, right? That we have markups and controllers. So controller has all the logic, right? So while you're working with a standard controller, you're utilizing or leveraging the Salesforce logics, the logic or the programs or the instructions which have been written by Salesforce. That is what we leverage. But if you plan to create your own controller, then you need the help of Apex, right? So what we are going to do is we'll write all the instructions, all the programs in a class, and we'll call that class as a controller on the Visual Force page. So this is how you're going to connect your page with the logics. Got it? So very simple thing. Write all your logics, all your instructions in the class, call the class as a controller on the Visual Force page. That's how simple it is. How do we do that? First of all, I'll have to create the class before I can actually create the Visual Force page. I need to create the class. So to create the class, go to setup, develop, Apex classes. Let me create a new class. This class has to be public class C2. I'm going to create a very simple class. It will just have a string hello equals hello, how are you? Okay, and this is what I want to display on the Visual Force page. Okay, this is my variable, and this is what I want to display on my Visual Force page. So I cannot call a variable directly outside the class. So what I need to do is I need to define a method. Method needs to be called. Okay, so on my Visual Force page, I cannot say that define the display hello as a variable. Okay, I need to define a method which will return the value of this. Okay, I'll need to define a method which will return the value of this, and that method needs to be called. When I call that method, this value will be displayed. So that's the simple logic. So here I'm going to define a getter method. Getter method will basically help you get the value from the code to the page. This is how it needs to be written, right? So this is your function, this is your method name. Okay, a get method which you are using to display some value on Visual Force page always needs to start with a get keyword. Okay, it always has to start with a get keyword. This is a public method. I have defined it as a public method because I want to call it outside this class. This method also needs to be called on the Visual Force page. Okay, and this is the return type. Return type means what exactly this method will return. So while you're defining a function, you'll have to define what will be the return type of that function. What will that function return? All right. So you will have two types of method. One method which returns something, and you will have methods which do not return anything. Okay, and they are called void methods. Void method is something which does not return anything. It just performs some actions and does not return anything. Okay. But if it's not a void method, then you should define the return type of the method. All right. So here my return type is what? String. So method is public, return type is string, and then the method name. That's it. Got it? And then rest all is syntax. And what this method will do, it will return the value of hello. That's it. Hmm.
Hello.
Hello, yeah, tell me.
Hello, Jeet. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Jeet, apart from public, right? You define here get hello as public. Do we have another option?
Do you have another option? Yeah. So if yeah, for class or for method?
For method, like for class 2, but what would be their returns, how they will function, so
No, tell me again. Return type you are asking about, or you are asking about public and private?
public, like
Yeah.
public, okay, public, private, second is private, right?
Yeah. Okay. But anything which needs to be called outside this class needs to be public. Okay, and I'm going to call this on the visual force page, which is definitely outside this class. So keep it public. Fine. For now, again, for the initial understanding, I would recommend while you're creating a method, always to, make it public. Okay? Because for now, whatever methods you're going to work on are going to be all public. All right.
Uh, okay.
Yeah, Jeet,
Hmm.
could you please explain the second part where the method has been defined?
Yeah. This one.
Yeah,
So it's a public method. You understand why public? Because it's going to
yeah,
be
it
called
is.
outside.
Yeah,
You understand why I've written string? This is the return type
yeah.
of method. That method will return string. This is the name of the
Okay,
method. This can be anything. Okay. But this
okay,
anything again has to start with get, because this is a getter method. So that's some setting that Salesforce has imposed. All right. Ideally, method
okay,
name could have been anything, but if you are trying to call a method and display data on Visual Force page, it should start with a get keyword. Okay, and after that it can be anything. It does not have to be hello. It can be anything.
okay.
So, but get has to, it has to start with a get keyword. After that, method
So get
starts.
is keyword
Method.
here, right?
Sorry.
So get is keyword here.
Yeah. So that get method name has to start with get. Okay. If I'm
Mm-hmm.
trying to call that method on the Visual Force page, so that's my method
Mm-hmm.
name. Correct. This is how
Okay.
any method in any other programming language is also defined. All right. So
What is the
you
next? Yeah.
I'll just come
What
to
is the
that.
return? Okay,
I'll
okay.
just come to that 1 minute.
Okay.
So, that's how the structure of a method for any programming languages. And there are only two types of methods. One method type which returns something, and there is another method type which does not return anything. All right. So I'm not getting into the other type of method. Here, my method is going to return the value of a certain variable, right? So I just say return hello. So when you call this method, it will return the value hello.
Mm-hmm. This
Hello is
return
what?
hello.
Hello is what?
Okay. Hello is a string. Hello, how are you?
Yes. So if hello is returned,
Hello
actually
is a
this will be
variable,
returned.
right?
Sorry,
Hello is a variable of
variable.
type
So whatever
zero.
is the value of that variable, that will be returned.
Okay. Is return what is it called? Is it a code or
What is sorry?
no? What is this public string get hello is a method what we have defined, and what is inside the return hello? Return, is it a command? Is it Jeet, the
Yeah,
return?
return is a command. Correct. So return will
Okay,
return the value of that variable.
okay.
Got
And
it?
hello is the variable. Okay, all right.
Got it? So this is what this.
Jeet,
Mhm.
uh, hello, Jeet.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there won't be a semicolon after get hello and the syntax, right?
No, see, this is where bracket is opening now. This one, no?
Okay.
So
Uh-huh.
here you don't need, like here you don't need.
No, but before that bracket, like once the round brackets are done,
No,
after that.
no.
Okay, okay.
Fine. There will not be a
Just one more
semicolon.
thing.
Hmm.
Just one more thing. Here get hello method is of type string, right? Its return type is a string here.
Uh-huh.
So can we do we have to return the string value always? String variable always? Can I return a integer type of variable?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
All right. So now let's see how do I connect it with the Visual Force page. So basically what I'm trying to do now is, first thing I've created the class. My program is ready. I have a method. I'll call this method to display my variable value and all. Okay. So all that I need to do is go ahead and create a Visual Force page and call this class as a controller on the page. Okay, now I'm not going to use any of the standard controllers. I'm going to use my own custom controller, the one that I am defining here. So let's go ahead and do it.
Can you explain this controller? What is controller?
I will explain. Let's first of all look into it. And, okay, so now you create the Visual Force page. Your program is ready. Okay, the class is ready. All that you have to do is go to Visual Force page. And on your Visual Force page, you'll have to call that class as the controller. Got it? I want that logic to work on my page, correct? So call that class as a controller. Now here there is no standard controller. Here you simply say controller equals to class name. What is the name of the class? What's the name of the class? Anyone please?
C2.
C2?
Yes.
C2, yeah. C2.
Yeah, yeah, C2.
Okay, fine. So C2. So your controller will be C2. Now what I'm doing is I am connecting this page with that block of logic or with that block of code. Now I can call the methods from that class here. Okay. So my method name is get hello. So get part is common. You don't have to call the get part here. I'm calling this method. While I'm calling this method, I don't have to mention the get part. Everything after the get part needs to be called. That's it. See. So to call a method from that class, all that you have to do is you just have to put curly brackets, exclamation mark, and the method name, excluding the get part. That's it. And that returns hello, how are you? Clear? That is how simple it is. So you can define your variable there and you can display the data from the variable here. Let me go ahead and do one more example with S object. This was for string primitive. Now let me define account A equals new account name equals IBM industry is technology. Okay, so this is an S object. Now I'm talking about an S object. I want to define again. I need to create a method for returning the value of this S object on the page, right? Can you have the microphones on mute, please? There's a bit of noise. Okay. I want to display now the details of this account record on the page. So what do I need? I need one more method, one more get method, public. Now what will be the return type in this case?
The object type, like,
String.
String.
should be object type because account is object.
Account, right? Because I'm going to return an account. So that's the data type, or that's the basically variable type. All right. Get A.
Okay, so
That's it. And return A. That's it.
Why A here? What is A here?
Correct. Vipula, okay.
So object, no,
That's the name of the variable.
so method name and variable name should be same always.
Just now I told you that it does not have to be same. You put it same for so that you don't have you're not working with too many keywords or too many names, but it does not have to be same. All right. This A is the variable. This variable. All right. saved it.
So you mean to say that we can write A outside and B in return, say return B, and it will return the same thing?
No, I don't mean to say that. What I mean to say that method name does not have to be variable, same as variable. Okay. Return, you have to return the variable only. Please listen to me clearly. Return, so you'll have to do the variable only. How will you return B? Where is B? Does it know what is B?
Mm-hmm. So
Understand that?
in get A we
Here,
can
get
write
instead of get A, you can say get India. Okay, so that's a method name. Okay, why I'm using it as the same so that you guys don't get confused. But method name can be different. But while you're defining return what, that return what has to be some variable. Otherwise, it will get confused. Got it?
yes. Okay.
Okay, for now, let's again, skip that confusion. For now, your method name has to be, for now, later on, you yourself will realize that it can be different. For now, just always try to keep the method name and the variable name here same for the time being. All right. Later on, you can understand the difference also, and you can start using that case. So now when you come here and I have to call that variable. Now that's S object, right? Which means I can call a field of that S object also. Correct? Account is an S object, and S object holds multiple fields. See? So while you're calling an S object, when it returns S object, the return type is S object, then you can call the fields of the S object also, like account A dot name, A dot industry. Clear? See? Like A dot type. There's nothing defined for type actually, no value defined for type. So it does not return anything. If you want, say type equals customer channel. So save it now. See, further connect how things are working. So if you define a variable in the code, you can get the value of the variable on the Visual Force page like this. Let me know if there is any question or doubt here. Still look into it clearly.
Here account we already have as an object.
Which, where, which line?
Account A equals to new account, and we are defining some we are giving some parameters like name equals to IBM.
Yeah, because this is a new account record which I am talking about, and the values I am supplying from my side. I'll have to give assign value to the variable somehow, right? So there are two ways of it. Either you put it as a new account record or you fetch the value from the database, right? So we are not fetching it from the database, I am supplying the value from myself. It's a new record.
So we are supplying IBM technology and customer channel into the database also.
No. So far it is not in the database, it's just a record which is still in the code only. It's not getting into the database yet. Right? It's just a record.
But we have,
It's just a value which has been assigned and it's still in the code only, not got into the database yet.
but in database we have one object account.
You have, right, correct.
Yeah, and okay.
Yeah, can I see the other page, like where we executed?
The code,
Jeet, is it the method or is the class we are calling in the Visual Force page?
Both. Class we are calling
Okay.
here and method we are calling inside this. So class is being
Okay.
called
Okay.
as a controller,
Okay.
method name we are calling here.
So is it necessary that we have to define, whether it is a public or private, all the time we define a method?
If you don't make it public, it will not recognize it here.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Public is mandatory.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. So, I'll do one more example, but before that, have a good look into the code and try and understand if we are getting the connect properly. What is getting connected here? Just your variable, a method to return the value of that variable, and the method is being called on the Visual Force page. So that's it. Here, if you
Jeet,
still find it difficult, let me put it this way. So this is the process. Class, there is variable, because value will be stored in a variable only, right? Method that returns value of variable. Sorry, returns value of variable, and then call class on React page, right? Call the method on React page. That's it.
Jeet, here when we say return the value, right?
Hmm.
When we are saying returning the value, sorry, is it returning the value to the method or is it returning the value to the VF page? What does it actually mean? Yeah, hello?
See, basically what you have to understand is how this thing is getting connected, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does it make a difference you call the method on the Visual Force page and the value gets written on the Visual Force page?
I didn't get your question, Ajit.
No,
Sorry.
my point is, sorry, you repeat your question, then I will tell you.
Yeah, I was just asking, like, when we define the method, like, the first one is public string get hello.
Hmm.
So where we said, when a data type is defined,
Hmm.
a value would be returned. And if it is void, no value would be returned there.
Right. So you understand what is a method or what is a function? What's a command? What is a call? Do we understand that?
Yeah,
Fine, we understand.
I
Okay.
think I.
So yeah. So if we understand what's a command, so a command will be
Mhm.
used for returning the value. That's it. Wherever you call that command, there it
Okay.
will return the value. It's not returning it to
Okay,
the
wherever
command
we call the
basically.
command.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Fine. So when you click on the GoToMeeting link, it opens the meeting link for you. Fine. That's what
True.
the job
True.
for that link is. Fine. Now,
Mm-hmm.
that's the same way when I define this. Let's say hello. The job of this command is to bring in the value of that variable, return the value of the variable wherever this is called. That can be a Visual Force page, that can be something else, that can be a website. Fine.
Okay. Okay.
So
Got it.
that method will just try and understand the technical aspect of it. Let's not get stuck with okay whether it is getting into the variable or into the method or something. Let's understand what basically that method is doing. All right. So the logic is pretty simple. I have a class where I'm writing the code. I have some variables. Now I want to get the fetch the value of a variable or at a certain place. For that, I need a method. Some command, so you'll have to pass now. If you do not pass the command, how will computer understand what exactly you want to do? So this command this method actually, or we also call it function. This function or method is basically instructing it that go and get the value of that variable hello and put it here. That's it. That makes sense? We could have actually given any instruction inside this function, but for now we are just giving instruction to display the data on the page from the variable. That helps.
Okay.
Now the structure of this is clear, what exactly it is doing, or any get method. Let me know if we still have any doubt or question here. We're all good?
Yes, I'm having again that doubt, like return A and account A. Account variable A, like it's variable of the object, right? How we can call it as like account is an object and A is
Okay. Before that, what you have to do is you have to just see that we are calling the variable name here. Return A is the return variable name. That's it. Whether it is account or whether it is a string or it is integer, that has been taken care in the first line. For that method only I've defined the return type. Why should I define account here again? I've defined it here. I've taken care of that here. You understand that thing, right? This is a data type and return type I've already mentioned here that it's going to return account. What is the confusion now? Tell me.
that like this, can we call this A as an instance of account?
Again, I'm telling you that don't go by theory, your terminologies, your theories and all those things, just leave it aside. Instance of account, not instance of account, you do not know what's an instance. So just don't get into that. What I'm telling you is just three things. One is defining the method as public, one is defining the return type, and then calling the variable with the same return type. That's it. There is a variable, right? Forget about instance and all that stuff. Again, let's not get into the basically theory of it. Okay, let's understand it practically. There is a variable. I want a method to return value of this variable. What I need to do, I need to create a method where I define the return type as the same as which is as same as the data type of that variable, and then I in the return statement I just write a variable name. That's it. Still not clear? Now, still, what is the confusion? You tell me again. I'll try to help you again. But don't try to again, form. What do you say? The theory behind that. That's instance, or that's being called here, or that's being called there. Don't go into theory. It's simple logic. There's a method. For the method, you have to define the return type, what data it will return, whether it will return string or integer or account or contact. That I have defined here.
Is
Correct?
account data type?
Yeah, that is a data type. Contact is a data type, a subject data type.
It's a S object.
S object.
Vipula.
Acha, that was Vipula. You asked account is a data type.
Mm.
Yesterday we were talking about this, no? S object. You're not there?
Yeah, yeah, as subject.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
that's it.
right.
Acha, so your confusion is whether account is a data type or not. Yes, it is.
Yeah, that's it.
So that's it.
It has it.
Jeet, okay.
Hmm.
Jeet, the whole thing account A is called a subject variable, right? Or is just A the variable there?
That account is S object data type. A is the variable name.
Okay, okay, all right.
Prime Minister of India Narendra Modi. So this whole thing is Prime Minister, but Prime Minister of India is a designation, and
Yeah,
Narendra
the
Modi is
same
the
like
variable there. So got
okay,
it.
the same like
So
okay.
that's how it is.
Sorry.
I mean, you just go back and try to write a few lines of code, and let's do a few more examples. Your doubts will get clear gradually. So just don't try to understand everything in this one example. But I would seriously, I'm not very sure whether you guys could do that or not. If anyone of you would have done that, at least the notes that I shared yesterday, you would not have these doubts whether account is a data type or not, or things like that. But write it, you will get things where the connect is happening. All right. Okay. Um, Now let's do one more example. I think that will make things more clear. Now, okay. Let me create a new class. Text classes. Create a new class. Public. Okay. Class C3. So what's the name of the class here? C3.
Three.
And now I define a contact here. Contact C equals new contact. First name equals Jeet. Last name equals Singh. And first name equals Jeet. Last name equals Singh. Email equals contact Jeet Singh at gmail.com. Let's say um, that's a variable, right? C is a variable. I want to display C on the Visual Force page. Now what should I do? It's a variable. Can I call the variable directly on the Visual Force page? Or is this something that you guys have to do?
No.
Can
No,
I call the
We
variable
should
directly on the
define a
page?
method.
you have to write the method.
Which
Method
method?
for that.
So let
You
me
have
create a
to
Visual Force
Get
page.
get method.
Get method. Absolutely correct. So see,
Yeah.
you have got all the concept. So I will call the class here.
Yeah. C3.
So I'll say controller equals to C3.
C3.
Connect, done. Okay. Now if I say C dot first name, it says C is unknown property. It does not know it. Why? Because it does not have any method defined. So I cannot call the variable directly. So the entire reason for, because I cannot call the variable anywhere. I'll have to call a method, because the Visual Force page does not know variable and all that stuff. Variable is only limited to your code. Anything outside the code, outside the program cannot call the variable. It needs
Hmm.
the method. So what type of method? Get method. Should I make it public? Yes. What will be the return type for this?
Contact.
contract.
Super. What will be the name for the method?
Get.
Get C.
For now, let's assume that it's going to be get C only. Okay. What will it return?
Return
Return
C.
C.
Return C.
Excellent. Now, if you go here and now if you try to call this, it knows that. Got it? What it has to return. If I do a line break here and then I try to put last name, email, that's it. Okay. First name, last name, email. Got this? So whatever is the, so if you are defining a get method, definitely we are defining it for returning some value on the page, right? Now whatever value you are gonna return on the page, you just need to see what is the data type of that value or that variable. Okay, so if I'm trying to create a method for C, then I should see what is the data type for that C. It's contact, so that's
Contact.
what needs to be written here. That's it. That's the simple connect. Alright, now let me work with okay, let me just leave it here. This part is clear. Okay. Let me create one more class. This time I will display multiple records from the page. Okay.
Jeet, sorry to interrupt you here.
Mhm.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah. Tell me.
Please go back to that text in C3.
Apex code C3. Here it is.
Okay. Here we are returning first name, last name, email. So can I return anything from here, like number equals to some numbers or anything? Or
Can
it
you
should be
return any?
reflect with fields in database or something.
No, see this record C itself is a contact record. Okay. So
Yes.
contact C, this data type itself means a row of data. Okay. So when your return type is contact, then you will return the contact record only. It will not return anything else. Right. In this,
Like
whatever
first
fields
name.
are possible in the contact, whatever fields are there, those fields can be defined, and all those will be returned here. Okay, so you can
Okay.
put phone number, you can put fax number, but that has to be a field of that particular object. Okay,
Yes. Yes.
you cannot return something which is not a field in this object.
Okay.
Correct.
So here we can understand that first name, last name, and email. These
Hmm.
are the fields in contact.
Contact, right? That's the reason why they are. I am supplying the value to them.
Okay.
Fine. So whichever object we are talking about, only the fields of that object. Now let's do a little more interesting example. So far it's clear, right? So it's pretty simple that we are doing. Let me write a simple code. Public class C4. Okay. This time I want to define a list of account. List of account is multiple accounts, right? Give it any name. And I say select name, type, industry from account.
Account.
Okay. What will it do? It will select name, type, industry of all the existing account from the account object, right? And assign it to this variable. So my ACTS is this. Got it? Now if I want to return the value of this on the page, then again what I have to do? I have to define a method, right? So help me write the method. Should be public.
Public
Okay. After that, what will be the return type?
Account.
account.
Look into the code again. What will be the return type? Will it be account? Is it correct?
Yeah.
No,
Yes.
no,
Yes, yeah.
no.
List of
List of account.
Get account. Okay, list of account.
It has to be a list of account because I'm trying to return also a list now. If my variable is list, so the return type also has to be list. Okay, that's it. So whatever is defined here before the variable, a simple understanding will be, even if that is difficult to understand, whichever variable you are trying to define, whatever you have written here before that, you just mention it here. But I think we should understand that whatever variable type we have defined, that variable type only needs to be defined here as the return type for it. Okay. Okay. Return ACTS. Okay. Now I have a list of accounts. This method is going to return list of accounts. So to display the list of accounts, what do I need on Visual Force page? What component?
Table.
Table. Right. So this
Page
time you
clock.
cannot just display the data like this. You have to create a table because it's a list of accounts. So controller equals C4 a text page block. So now you start getting into your Visual Force coding the same way you used to do. You can do title list of accounts. And the text page block to be value of the table will be the method. Okay. And variable can be against anything that you want. Make it a text column a dot name. Name type industry. Let me also have the phone and fax. And phone and fax here. What is the error? What's the error? Should be value equals to. Still is problem. Double quotes are missing. Here it is. Correct? So here the connect is pretty simple. Only the connect is happening in the value of the table. So that method needs to be defined here. So this will return the list of values and that's what is going to get returned.
Did we have to mention each and every, like if I want to set every field, I have to type each field for here, name, type, industry, phone.
No, so usually Salesforce does not allow you to fetch all the fields just like that. Okay, because that will in a way hamper your programming and speed also, right? So it does not actually have that option of fetching all the fields just like that. Right? You have to mention
Where,
which fields you want to fetch.
where did you call the method in this?
In the Visual Force page here, line
Yeah.
number 3, value. What data needs to be displayed in the table? That's it, basically.
And this variable A can be different from the
It can
Apex
be
code,
anything.
or
Yeah, yeah. It can be
it can
anything.
be. Okay.
In Apex code, we do not have this.
Okay.
This is a part of your Visual Force, basically. This can be anything.
Okay.
But ACTS should be same like in Apex.
This will be your method, yeah. So only
Okay.
place where there is this connect happening with the Apex code is this
Should be
value in the table.
same as
That's it.
S object variable, right?
Same as this object, or if you remember standard list controller, we used to
Yeah.
define the very record set var at the top and used to call that here. Right? So
Mm-hmm.
their record set var mean a list of all the records. Here, value means whatever method I've defined. So that method will be called, that method will return the value ACTS, and its ACTS means this. Okay. Now you can just make a small change here. Instead of all the accounts, now it's showing all the accounts. You just say where industry equals energy. Okay, just this part. So my list will get changed based on that. See, now it's only showing you records where the industry is energy. Clear? That's it. Okay.